Hi, I'm Andrew Wasson. Thanks for joining me for my weekly guitar blog. It's June 21st, 2015, and this week we're going to do a lesson covering intermediate guitar arpeggios. And this week's question was sent in from Walter. He's out in Hanover, Pennsylvania, and he wrote in with this email: over the last year I've been working on learning my major and minor arpeggios. I know quite a few patterns, and I have also learned a number of the 7th arpeggios too. My problem right now is using them. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but I can't seem to get the arpeggios to work very well. Could you put together sort of an intermediate arpeggio guitar lesson from Walter in Hanover, Pennsylvania, USA? Well, thanks for writing in, Walter. Arpeggios are a topic with guitar players that will often get neglected. The arpeggio shapes can be somewhat difficult to fret out on the guitar fingerboard due to their interval distances, and these interval distances are also quite large, so it can make things kind of difficult and awkward to apply melodically compared to a scale or especially a pentatonic. However, once the group of arpeggio patterns has been practiced and they've become fairly well developed, the guitarist can begin moving on to more of an intermediate stage of application with them. So in this lesson, we're going to mostly involve developing fingering patterns both within common arpeggio shapes as well as developing the use of arpeggio patterns outside of the common major and minor layouts as well. So let's get started. In the first intermediate arpeggio exercise, I've taken a simple chord progression in the key of A major, and I've traced some common arpeggio patterns around each of the chords. In measure 1, I'm using a 4th string root A major arpeggio from 7th position. And it goes down into 4th position there. In measure 2, I'm going to cover a C sharp minor chord with its arpeggio in a very simple way at 6th position. Then in measure 3, I'm going to have that D major chord show up, and it's going to get covered with a very popular shape in 10th position. And basically in measure 4, we're going to return once again to the sounds of an A major chord, and I'm just going to play one more A major arpeggio in 9th position, very simple one. Okay, so those are going to be the chord changes, and that's going to be the quick breakdown of the melody there. But just to give you a really good idea how all this stuff fits together, I have those chords recorded in the loop pedal. I'm going to fire that up and play this arpeggio melody over those chord changes. Well, my next example works around an A mixolydian groove with the final measure applying a harmony of dominant 7th, because of course that's the root sound of the mixolydian mode. It's only a 2-bar phrase, but it rapidly covers a lot of harmony by crossing over a G major to a B minor 7, and then it switches around from a suspended effect off of an A7 sus4, finally resolving to an A dominant 7th chord. The arpeggios are moving kind of quickly across each of the chords, targeting all the chord tones. So you kind of have a lot of busy movement there. The first batch of ideas there is going across those sounds of G. Now, of course, I am playing a G major triad, but I'm starting on the major 7th tone. That's going to be an F sharp. And I'm kind of targeting into that. The F sharp's kind of a neat tone in one way because it's a major 7 to that G chord, and it's also the perfect 5th, of course, away from the B minor 7's root. So now when we get to that B minor 7 root, though, I'm going to be sliding down into the 7th chord tone of that B minor 7 chord, which happens to be an A. And I'm going to slide into that, and I'm going to do a little bit of a rake idea here across a B minor triad. Then I'm going to carry over into this A note as the A suspended comes in. And then when the A7th comes in, that's when I'm going to do that triad at that point. Come around into that major 3rd C sharp tone. So that's the whole thing there. I have the chords in the loop pedal, so I'm going to fire that up and give you a chance to hear how everything sounds all together. Here we go. Well, my final example is the most technically challenging due to both its rapid coverage of the harmony and for the setup of each of the fingerboard arpeggio layouts. Now, the chord progression is a fairly common sounding one. It's based out of the key of B minor, and it moves from the tonic chord of B minor to the 6th chord of G major and into the 7th chord of A major. And it also has a quick change at the end. Okay, and the added level of difficulty with performing this progression lies in the use of chord shots that are going to bring out each measure on the downbeat of 1. So after the chord gets attacked, what's going to happen is there's going to be a fairly rapid 16th note run covering a lot of tones. So that's what happens off the B minor. Then when we come in on the G, we have another rapid set of 16th notes. Then the A is going to be up here. Just a little shot at the beginning, and then we're going to do some 8th notes. So like this. And then we're just going to have those last 2 chords, the B minor and the A, coming up again. So a lot of it's moving fairly quick. I'll play a little slower here to get started with. Right. Now I do have these chords in the loop pedal. They're sustaining a little more than what happens in the shots that are part of the riff here. But I'll fire up that loop pedal and I'll play everything along with it. So here we go. Arpeggio practice involves doing a ton of work with all the arpeggios and for all the different kinds of chord qualities in music. Most guitar players are only knowledgeable to a very small degree with the arpeggio shapes on the neck, those arpeggio fingerings, and most importantly, the arpeggio application. Now, this lesson was only an intermediate arpeggio tutorial, and we had a chance to kind of find out, how the major and minor arpeggios can operate in and around common chord shapes found in the majority of musical styles. And we just worked on them horizontally and vertically and just came up with some great ways to apply them. But there's more to it than this. After this kind of information, it's important to study advanced arpeggio concepts as well, where arpeggios get substituted over other chord types. Like for instance, if you had a C major chord, you could play an E minor over top of it. You could do extensions on arpeggios. You could take that C major 7 arpeggio, make it into a major 9. You could take let's say a B minor 7 arpeggio, make it into a B minor 11. That's kind of interesting work to do that. And you could also place more emphasis even upon just working with the 7ths, taking into account minor 7 flat 5 arpeggios, dominant 7th arpeggios, and then later there's the whole world of introducing altered tones to arpeggios. So there's tons of directions that you can take this, and as time goes on, and it will take time. This is not really simple stuff, and the patterns take a while to get down, and application takes a while. But in time, it's very interesting to have in your playing, and it really makes you a much better musician. Anyway, that's about all the time I have for today. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and if possible, consider a small donation to help fund the Guitar Lessons project here. Otherwise, have yourself a great week, and I will catch up with you next time. Bye for now. I'd like to take a moment to mention another guitar video lesson project I've started. It's a unique guitar lesson approach that I'm doing online, and it's not like anything I've done before. Best of all, it's 100% free. I've called this approach Guitar Micro Lessons, and they're a great way to learn a few new licks or riffs or chord shapes each week. Now, these Guitar Micro Lessons are quick and easy to learn from. They're very short, with each lesson running between only 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes in length. They're published to YouTube from Monday to Thursday on my other Guitar Blog Update YouTube channel, and you can either subscribe to that channel to guarantee getting each new episode, or just visit the channel whenever it's convenient for you and check out the new micro lessons in the playlist on the Guitar Blog Update channel's homepage. My Blues Guitar Styles ebook is a masterclass course covering a huge amount of information with 8, 12, and 16 bar blues progressions, classic blues styles, plus all the important chord patterns. There's over 50 pages of information, including sections on blues techniques like slide, alternate tuning, and bending. This ebook has everything the guitar player needs for a solid foundation in blues guitar, including 27 MP3 audio tracks for easy at-home study. Blues Guitar Styles is available for instant download in the View Our Products area at creativeguitarstudio.com.